So before I moved to Florida, I used to live in New York City, the big city, the concrete jungle, where people live on top of each other. You can hear siren, you can hear traffic late at night. And there are a couple of things that I like about New York City, and the rest of it is very difficult to endure if you can. So, the good thing about living in the city was the transportation. They had trains all hours, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So, you can get on the train and go, wherever you gotta go without being stuck in traffic and without spending money on insurance and fuel and all of that. So that was the good thing. And the other thing, the city, there was the city of Manhattan, all the businesses are. So if you have the skills, being on a computer or even, being basic knowledge, there were a lot of temp agencies. So those temp agencies, they used to hire people who wants a part-time job or even a full-time job, but temporary, like a long-term or short-term. So because those companies didn't want to hire somebody and be on their payroll, so they used to go to those temp agencies and hire them in the event something happens to the employee. So they didn't want to cover, insurance like workers' compensation or unemployment. After somebody works for a while and, if they're let go for whatever reason, if it's job performance or downsizing or layoffs, so people collect unemployment. So the employer now, he's smart. He's thinking, oh, I can go to a temp agency and get somebody uh, who can come in and work for me. But then if something happens, I want to let them go. There is no issue for him because now it's hired by the temp agency, and they're the ones that um, if you have to apply for unemployment or whatever. So it's not necessarily that was the reason people get jobs, but it's quicker than being hired directly through a company, because the company, they always, at that time where I used to be there, they used to, they want your resume, and they used to check with the previous employer sometimes, but it was quicker to get a job with a temp agency. So, and it was beneficial for the employer as well, because there is so many people. They used to I used to work for chiropractor, and they used to come and they got hurt on the job, just slip and fall, so things like that. So the employer doesn't want the responsibility, so they go straight to the temp agency. So that was one thing that was good. I used to get a job quickly and used to get hired. And at that time, I was able to do standing jobs. So I used to go to, those coffee shops. I used to get jobs quickly, like Dunkin' Donuts or even Starbucks. They hire you quickly. And then the other thing, because they have so many of them, like, the city is big, so there's so many businesses. So if one of them don't hire you, so you go a few blocks down, and next thing you know, this area is more busy, and they need people either to work at night or afternoon shift. They always had something. They always wanted somebody. They were hiring somebody at that time. So yeah, these were the good things about being in the city. And the other thing was convenient. Like if you need something, if there is no store around the block, there is like maybe a few blocks down, there was a store, or convenience stores. There were so many of those, like little stores. You just go buy something quickly. And yeah, the convenience of being in a city. So there was a siren over there. But anyhow, yeah, having a car in the city was actually inconvenient, because it was a hassle where you're gonna park it. And even if you find parking in those parking garages, it was really expensive. I remember it was $40 for about 2 hours, and you had to tip the valet parking. And yeah, because I had a friend visiting me from Pennsylvania or something, and a lot of traffic. You get stuck in traffic, and so the trains are much better. And yeah, that was the thing, back then when I used to be in the city. And there's always something to do. There's Broadway shows, movie theaters, and people used to go to the movies back then. I don't know. Now it's like Netflix and things, but it used to be Tuesday was a good deal, and during the week. And I used to work in a movie theater, so I used to go to the movies for free. And it's 24/7, everything is open, unlike here. So you can go to restaurants, and there were so many restaurants from so many different countries that I don't even know where that was, like Indonesia, and some restaurants I never heard of the country before. And there was always something to do, and there was a public libraries, 3 floors, and Barnes and Noble. I used to go read books there and sit there for hours. And yeah, everything is bigger, and I used to live with roommates. That was the only thing that was because I used to work for a company, so half of my salary, sometimes more, used to go to the landlord. So that was the only thing. Things are more expensive in the big city, even in stores or restaurants. And we didn't have like Walmart or anything, so it was just the stores that they had, and everything is more expensive. That's the only thing about being in a big city. So I just wanted to let you know a few things about living in New York City. And after the 2008, I was interested in coming down to Florida, and they were half price, the condos and all the houses. So then I had a friend of mine, and he had a house here. I came down with him. I was pet sitting his dog, and so I can tell you that story in my next video if you're interested about hearing how I ended up in Florida. And well, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And this is what I have for you today. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.